What's up, guys? It's Fantasy Joe back here with another Monday mock draft, another mock draft Monday, as is more commonly known. Yeah, today we are doing hopping into a Superflex league, one quarterback, two running back, two wide receiver, one tight end, and then one QB wide receiver, running back, tight end spot, most commonly filled with a quarterback. If you are new to the channel, please hit that like button on the videos, helps us out a ton. Hit that subscribe button down below to stick around for more content, and please leave any comments or questions in the comment section down below, and I'll respond as always. Without further ado, let's get into this mock draft. It's going to be out a little bit later this Monday, but I'm also going to be bringing you guys another mock draft tomorrow, Tuesday, as always. Yeah, we're going to start doing two mock drafts a week and stick around for all the dynasty content as well. We have the 102 pick. I'm going to take Dalvin Cook here. I think he's too good to pass up. 300 plus carry running back with using the passing game as well. Heavily utilized around the goal line. Just couldn't pass him up even to get a quarterback there. Just thought I could get better value in these other positions. Austin Ekeler is still available. I really like him. A.J. Brown still available. I would consider him if Austin Ekeler wasn't still available. So we're going to take Austin Ekeler here and fill our RB spots. Even in two quarterback leagues, I really like to try to get at least one early running back or one early stud wide receiver. One early running back for sure, and then one early either running back or wide receiver. Just because, yeah, the quarterbacks do go early, but I'm still able, I'm going to snag Russell Wilson here. I think they're going to throw a little bit more than they say they're going to in Seattle because Russell Wilson's trade demands and all this stuff. I think if they're going to go back to a Marshawn Lynch pound the ball 100% era, I think they're going to go closer to that for sure than they were last year. But if they go back to that completely, I don't think Russell Wilson will be on the team in 2021. So I'm going to draft Russ there, and I'm going to have faith that he is going to produce this season regardless. Ryan Tannehill went off the board shortly after him. Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford went. That is a bummer. That's who I was really hoping would get to me. I could take Matt Ryan. I really don't like Matt Ryan, though, to be honest with you. He's a solid fantasy quarterback, but I think I'm going to try to wait one more round and see if I can snag Carson Wentz. Not the best second quarterback for a 2 QB league, but I think if I snag a quarterback later, I will be just fine being able to fill in having Russell Wilson and then being able to fill in Carson Wentz. I do think Carson Wentz is due for a bounce back regardless. But I'm going to take Julio Jones here, get my first wide receiver. I think he has a value there. Terry McLaurin and James Robinson went right after that. I also was considering James Robinson. Terry McLaurin, I would take Julio firmly ahead of him still, but I think he's going to have a great season this year. Oh, now here comes the real question. Do I try to take another wide receiver like Chris Godwin and think that, you know what, we will do that just because these quarterbacks down here, it's a mock draft, so we're going to see how the team turns out. But I'm going to take Chris Godwin here. I'm going to hope that I can secure Carson Wentz in the next round potentially. The quarterback, Wentz went. All right, Wentz was taken. So we move on. Cam Newton still available, Derek Carr still available, Tua, Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence, Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, who I would like as my third quarterback. I'd probably try to snag Jameis Winston too because I think he's going to be the starting quarterback for the Saints. And whoever's the starting quarterback for the Saints, whether it's Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston, is going to be extremely successful for fantasy. Jameis, because what the Saints offense brings to him as a passer and his play style alongside Michael Thomas. And Taysom Hill because of his rushing capabilities that he's going to have. If he's a starting quarterback, they're going to be running the ball a lot. You're going to get a ton of points from that. So whoever's starting quarterback for New Orleans, I think is going to be extremely fantasy viable. Let's check out what tight ends are still available. T.J. Hockenson, not really excited about him. This is tough. I'm going to take Cam Newton, honestly. Or not Cam Newton. I'm going to take CeeDee Lamb. It's between him and Melvin. I'll take Melvin Gordon, actually, just because the running back depth is going to be so hard to build. I'll take him. Right now, he's in my super flex spot, but I'll end up putting a quarterback in there. And then I'm going to draft Cooper Kupp. I feel like I have really good depth, even though I might not have that second quarterback, that stud second quarterback, essentially. But I'm really glad I was able to get Russell Wilson. I've built a really solid team around him that's going to be able to support points. And I still, like I said, I'm looking to get a quarterback still, obviously. Okay, I'm guessing this is the time where the quarterbacks are starting to chill out a little bit. And I'm honestly going to take a little bit of a shotgun approach here. You can draft a few more quarterbacks in these two quarterback leagues, obviously, because you're starting to every week. And especially me not having invested in that second quarterback a ton of draft capital, I'm going to want a few guys to be able that can slide in any given week. So I already mentioned I'm interested in Darnold, interested in Derek Carr. I think Darnold this year can be like a poor man's Derek Carr, what he was last year. Just more interceptions probably, but a solid NFL quarterback for sure. I want to make sure I get Jameis. I have my eye on Sam Darnold. I think I'm going to take. I'm between Trevor Lawrence and Derek Carr here. I think Trevor Lawrence could have a Justin Herbert-esque rookie season. I'm not betting on that by any means. Justin Herbert is coming off the best rookie season any quarterback's ever had, but he has that same skill set. He's a tall, mobile quarterback with a big arm. I think he can run for 300 plus yards like he did, add some scores on the ground like Justin Herbert did. And for that rushing upside, I'm going to trade Trevor Lawrence here. I'm going to draft him. None of the experts agree, but I don't really care. Like I said, I feel good about the rest of my team. And in a real good league, they have Melvin Gordon there just because I drafted him early, but Trevor Lawrence will be starting there for me. And I'm going to keep loading up one of these other players as well. Let's see who's taken. Myles Gaskin, Brandon Cooks. I'm going to snag TJ Hockenson here because I think he's the number one option for the Detroit Lions, having Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones leaving free agency. They added Tyrell Williams and Rashad Perryman, I do believe. But I don't think that they're going to be, stealing. I think TJ Hockenson will still be the number one target on this team. So I'm going to take him. Fill in my tight end spot. I feel like I do have really good players built around these quarterbacks in case they do struggle a little bit. I think Russ will be just fine, and I think I can find another guy that's going to be able to put up solid points on a week-to-week basis. And, gosh, here's the real bummer. Jameis Winston was drafted. Thought I could get him. Was playing that ADP game. Messed up. So now I'm going to take Derek Carr. I feel like I can slide in Derek Carr, Trevor Lawrence. I can stream one or the other. I'll probably end up drafting one more quarterback too before it's all said and done. I'll take Mike Williams. I think he's a guy who I think is falling way too far in drafts, as well as Cole Beasley. I think both of those guys are really good values late in drafts if you're looking for wide receivers. I mean, we see how good Justin Herbert is as a quarterback. I don't know why people don't want to invest in a talented second weapon like Michael Williams, the best jump ball receiver in the NFL, in my opinion, is able to just go up there and make plays on the football in the air like nobody else. And I think a big arm quarterback like Justin Herbert is going to utilize that even more in year two, using him down the field. I think he's going to be extremely fantasy viable. Okay. Now I'm going to start checking out Sam Darnold. I'm probably going to wait one more round to get him because I do already have three quarterbacks. I'm going to take Alexander Mattison because I took Dalvin Cook. The only risk that I really see with Dalvin Cook is injury, and that's why I snagged Alexander Mattison because of that heavy workload that Dalvin Cook gets. Sets him up even more for being more prone to injuries just because he's touching the ball, getting hit more. It's a direct correlation. So I secured Alexander Mattison there in case Dalvin Cook goes down. I've got the guy who's going to step right into that role and not be have a guy I can fill in for him on a week-to-week basis if he goes down. Now you're going to take Sam Darnold here, snag him. I do think he is, like I said, he could be a poor man's Derek Carr. I think he's going to be, but he has that upside where he could be a major fantasy contributor. So I'm going to snag him here. I can cut him after 2 weeks if he's looking like bad, if he's not looking great. I can do that with all these quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence, Derek Carr. I just feel like if I draft 4 in a 2-quarterback league, they're going to be a lot harder to find off of waivers. I'm going to be able to use them, figure out that second quarterback spot, who's going to be my bench quarterback, and then cut the next guy and move on to another running back or wide receiver, most likely. The system is taking a little long to load right now, but let's just look down at some of these players that we could draft. We have 2 spots left. So we've taken Sam Darnold with our last pick. Like I said, I would be looking for guys like Cole Beasley. I think he's a great value. As far as running backs go, if you think J.D. McKissic is still going to continue to get the passing game work in Washington, I would draft him. He had 80 receptions last year. I think it would go to Antonio Gibson, but you never know. Jeff Wilson Jr. is another guy that intrigues me. I think he's going to have his games regardless of Raheem Mostert's healthy or not this year, honestly, because of how well he played last year and the injuries that Raheem Mostert sustained. They're going to be trying to keep him healthy throughout the season, and they already rotate running backs a lot, so I think he has fantasy relevance. Tight end, if you didn't have a tight end already, Jonnu Smith is a guy I would target late. Irv Smith Jr. I'd take even before Jonnu because he's the only tight end now in Minnesota with Kyle Rudolph gone. I'd be interested in him. And Evan Ingram just because of his upside as well. That's going to conclude this mock draft because the rest of the thing isn't working. But I showed you the players that I would be willing to take. That last bench spot right there would be filled with Sam Darnold if the system would load. And then I'd probably be taking some of those other players that I discussed down below. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that, leave any questions or comments down in the comment section down below. Helps out the channel a lot. Until next time, peace out, Fantasy Joe.